Hello, good morning. I'm here with Erin Loftin of EL Designs. And hi, Erin, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks, Barbara. How are you?
Good. I'm here with Erin today because I thought it would be a great idea to get Erin's perspective on home improvement. I just read a statistic this weekend about there are 68% of Americans that looked at a home improvement project in the last 3 months. So I know I have. I've been home more and I've been looking at things that I can do around the house. So Erin, being the owner of EL Designs, it's neat, I think, as a background in both design and construction. So you can give us a great feedback on what we can do with our projects at home, probably specifically focusing on bathroom and kitchens. So
Yeah, absolutely.
the first thing I was wondering about is countertops. What is the most durable material for a countertop?
There are a couple of different options. The most popular option for a while now has been quartz, and quartz is a man-made product. I have a few samples that I'll show just while we're
Great.
talking using the video. So these are a couple of different samples. They are the same pattern, but as you can see, one has more of a polished finish and the other one does not. So what's come about recently in the last couple of years is quartz manufacturers have learned that homeowners really like that matte finish that you can get with natural stone. So a lot of the manufacturers have implemented a matte finish on their most popular styles, most of those being the ones that look like marble. So the white or gray backgrounds with the veining.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're extremely durable for multiple reasons. It varies depending on the manufacturer, but they range in anywhere from 92 to 98% quartz. And quartz is a natural material that's harvested from the earth. And then it's bound together in a resin, and resin doesn't absorb anything. So one of the reasons that this is the most popular countertop material is it doesn't absorb anything. So red wine, ketchup, lemon juice,
Any
tomato juice,
spill.
anything like that. Yep, it doesn't absorb, it won't stain, it doesn't fade. And there's so many different patterns and colors that you can pretty much find anything that you're looking for. And it mimics natural stone beautifully. So a couple of different options too, right? This is another one that kind of looks like marble. This is a
Uh-huh.
polished sample, but you can see some of the clouded veining here. This is actual marble.
Oh, it's really
So
similar. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Can't
so
tell the
when you
difference.
see them, right, when you see them side by side in person, the majority of people will never be able to tell the difference.
Do you need
And
to seal it?
no,
Does it
you
have to be?
don't.
Oh, okay.
So quartz is maintenance free. It doesn't require any sealing or any type of protection after it's been installed. With natural stone, it's recommended generally that you want to seal it every year. And there's actually a product that I learned about this year, and it's from a company called More Surface Care. And it's a UV protective sealer that can be applied to natural stone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a 10-year warranty. So if you absolutely have to have natural stone or marble, which is what a lot of people are leaning toward, that would be my recommendation, so that you would have basically a maintenance-free countertop if you chose marble. Another popular countertop material is quartzite, and
Mm-hmm.
quartzite is a natural stone. So we just covered quartz, which is the man-made product. Quartzite is a natural stone. It's denser than granite, and it's pretty much maintenance free as well. There's so many different slabs of that available too, and it has these beautiful fractures in it, and the fractures reflect the light and create the depth in the stone. So it's worth going to slab yards to see those different options, because you might see something there that you love.
Right. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just curious about cost, if they're comparable.
I was just going to say, a common misconception is that natural stone is a lot more expensive, or certain quartz slabs are a lot more expensive. And it really just depends what you select. So there's different manufacturers and they have different price points depending on the pattern of the slab, the size, and the popularity, as well as the finish, whether it's that polished finish or the honed finish. But generally speaking, if you select I'd say kind of like middle of the road popular slab, it might be $2,000, $2,500. If you select a jumbo slab and it's in a luxury series and it's a matte finish, you might be looking at more like $4,000 per slab.
Okay.
And quartzite and natural stone is generally priced per square foot. And those slabs, because it's natural material, those slabs will vary in size.
Right. So can you use the same material for both a kitchen, countertop, and let's say bathrooms?
Absolutely.
So you can use any of the ones that you mentioned and purchase the size that you need,
Yep.
and make them. And what about if you drop something? Which material is more durable as far as, maybe in the kitchen I'm working with a big knife or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what would you recommend is the best material for that?
They're all going to be pretty similar. Materials like marble and soapstone are just a more porous stone to begin with, and so those would have the most risk of damage, even if they're sealed. There is a newer product on the market, and it's an ultra high compact surface. It looks just like the quartz slabs. It's a man-made product too, but it's even more durable than quartz. So again, it looks just like quartz products. You wouldn't be able to tell
To tell the
looking at one
difference.
versus the other. But there's in quartzite, because of those fractures I was describing, it could be more prone to chipping on the edges. So that's just something you want to be aware of, because those fractures run all the way through the slab. And this is a piece of soapstone, but
Mhm.
as an example, you can see the veining in this. It runs all the way through the slab.
Yeah.
The same happens with quartzite. So instead of it being these veins, it's these fractures. And it's, like I said, it's one of the things that makes the slab so beautiful, but it's a weak point in the slab. So when you're looking at the countertop edge, if you were to bang something against the edge, there is a risk that that could chip. But
Right.
it's similar with quartz as well. I mean, if you have a cast iron pot or pan and you're losing your grip on it or something and it happens to slip and hit the edge of the countertop, with pretty much any of these materials, you can risk chipping the countertop. Most of
Mhm.
them can be repaired.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Well, wonderful. So I've been wondering about flooring, and I'm reading a lot about VOCs and emissions. And
Yes.
so I was curious about what is the most eco-friendly as well as healthy flooring material?
So a lot of people will go toward a pre-finished floor for that. Pre-finished means that it's finished in a factory and then it's installed in your home. So solid hardwood is great, but a lot of times solid hardwood floors are going to be refinished in your home. There's different processes that can be done in refinishing. I've actually heard of I think it's called a sandless refinish, and I haven't done that in my home. I know very few people that have used that type of service, so I don't know enough about that to speak on that. But when the hardwood floors are sealed in place, that's one of those things that once it's done, so first of all, let me back up. In the state of California, we can only allow so much volatile organic compounds. That's what the VOC is, or emissions or off-gassing. And we have the strictest regulations within the US. So if it can be done in California or sold in California, it meets our air quality standards. So just rest assured that is the first line of protection.
Hmm.
So that being said, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't get home and say you have new carpet installed and you have that new carpet smell, right? That's an off-gassing. Same with cars. That new car smell that we all really like, that's an
Yeah.
off-gassing. So when you refinish hardwood floors, there's more of, I'll call it a risk, more of a risk of having these somewhat unpleasant smells for a longer period of time. If you have a factory finished floor, like a engineered hardwood, you're not going to have that same type of smell lingering. And I have some samples to show you too with those.
Great.
One material in particular that I never noticed a smell with is luxury vinyl plank. And we can talk about that in a little bit as well. So this is a solid hardwood, and you can see the grain pattern all the way through. This is what a lot of homes have this. A lot of people want this in their home. If they already have it and they're doing an addition or changing flooring out in other rooms, then a lot of people will want to carry that solid hardwood through. So this is generally a product that comes unfinished, and then it's finished in place. When it's finished in place, you have to move all the furniture out. It's sanded, prepped, and then whatever process, whatever stain you want, and whatever process you agree with your installer, that's what they'll do. And it varies depending on how quickly you can move things back in. An engineered hardwood is going to be a product that has what we call the wear layer, and that's what you see and walk on. And this is true hardwood. It's factory finished, so typically the finish is going to be more durable than what is on a solid hardwood floor because it's had a lot of time to cure as well. An engineered hardwood, and this is just one example. A lot of materials do come thicker than this, but you can see the different components that build up the product. And the thicker this top wear layer is, the more expensive the product will be, but the more durable it will be. So engineered hardwood, yes, it's true hardwood on top, but the core is engineered so that it doesn't absorb moisture, which means it's not going to buckle or cup or anything like that.
So it's more durable in a way then.
Yeah, okay. It is. It's more resistant to any kind of moisture damage too. So I would say if you're really sensitive to chemicals and smells, a pre-finished product is a better way to go. And there's different manufacturers have different lines that have less product or less material involved in their finishing process. And that's something I'd recommend looking into.
What about cork and bamboo? Those are they healthy options? I believe they are, but
yeah, so they have a more sustainable component to them, being that they're more they regenerate faster than other materials. So they grow faster, they can be harvested quicker, and that's what makes them a sustainable material as opposed to different woods that would be harvested to make engineered hardwood or solid hardwood. They are healthy products, but they're finished as well. So they have a finish on them, and you would just want to look into the manufacturer's specifications for what's used in their finishes.
Got it. And so you did mention luxury vinyls, and I have a lot of clients actually that are installing those in their homes. So what about them, and is it most cost effective to buy them in a big box store or not?
There are a lot of great options. I'm glad you asked about that. And so a luxury vinyl plank or a luxury vinyl tile can look like hardwood or they can look like tile. The difference is this is not actually wood on top. And as you can see, it's a really compact product, also resistant to moisture absorption, cupping, buckling, all of that. I actually have it here in my office. And back to your comment earlier, or your question earlier about does it smell or off gas, I never had any smells coming from my flooring. And my husband and I installed it ourselves.
Okay.
So it's a really, really great alternative to a hardwood. It's maintenance free. And it's also what we call a floating floor. So it doesn't need to be nailed down or glued down. If you ever had a problem with one of the planks or one of the tiles, you could take that and replace it with another plank or tile, which is really nice. So the system is a click and slide together type of system. And the majority of them too will have cork backing or some sort of rubber backing to minimize noise as well. Different manufacturers at different price points. I know people have seen it at Home Depot, let's say for, like a $1.99 a square foot or something like that. And generally the difference between something you'd buy at a big box store and something you'd buy at a flooring store would be the thickness of the material and whatever the back of the material has on it, whether it has some sort of cushioning or some of them are, like I think I mentioned, cork backed. You'll want to know what you're buying. And so in order to compare one product equally to another, you'd want to make sure they have the same backing material, they're the same thickness all the way through, and whatever that wear layer is on top is the same. So generally speaking, across the board for any kind of engineered hardwood or luxury vinyl product, you want this layer, this top wear layer, to be as thick as possible because that's where your durability comes in. So the thinner that is, the less expensive it will be. So when you're looking at products, take a look at it from the side. And something like this is really thin. It's hard to measure, but you can take photos and you can compare when you go to different retailers so that you're getting an idea of what you're paying for.
And do you recommend using this material for any room in the home? I mean, you use it in an office, but what about a bedroom or even a kitchen?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had it installed throughout whole homes just because it's great. Like I said, it doesn't absorb any moisture. So if you spill something on it, you could literally leave it for a whole day and nothing's going to happen to that floor.
Wow.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's great for kids, pets. It's soft underfoot too. So different manufacturers will say that you can install it in bathrooms, and I have on different projects. But I tend to prefer and recommend tile for bathrooms just because there are wear layers, and this is a click-through system where tile is grouted. So I feel like there's just less likelihood of any type of water intrusion in a tile floor that's grouted than in a click-together floor, because there isn't a product like a grout or anything like that that's going to protect the joints where those planks meet. But I mean, I have installed it in bathrooms and people have been really, really happy with it. It's totally fine in a half bath, just in an area where you have a lot of moisture and water, like a full bath with a bathtub. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it's definitely been done.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you know what? I feel like I could talk with you all day long about these. I have lots of questions, but I really appreciate your time, Erin. And just to give everyone an idea of what you do, can we call you if we have design questions, or how can you help at home? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few different ways that I try to help people just kind of understand the remodeling process and answer some of those questions is I do a blog post on my website every week, and that's eldesignsco.com. I cover a lot of different material from countertops and flooring and cabinet accessories and plumbing fixtures and appliances, different things like that. I also am available when people have questions. They can call me or email me. I do consultations in people's homes to talk to them about the changes they want to make and answer questions there as well. So yeah, as you mentioned earlier, the focus of my work is primarily kitchen and bath design, and I produce all of the plans and the 3D renderings so you can see what it looks like before you make any changes, and I help homeowners get their permits as well.
You do a great job, and I know that firsthand. So thanks again for your time, Erin, and I will share your information at the bottom of my email that I'll send out to.
Sounds good.
Thanks again for your time.
Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate it.
Bye.
You too. Bye.